True Sports episode 90 is on the air. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor.
Hitting.
Yep. Tommy Pham draws a walk against Williams of the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks have runners on the corners and two out at American Family Field. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Phillies lead the Miami Marlins 3-1 in the top of the eighth, two outs and runner on first. Both of them are game ones. Earlier, the Rangers blanked the Blue Jays 4-0. The Minnesota
Yes.
Twins, the Minnesota Twins beat the Toronto Blue Jays earlier. Got to check that score. 3-1. That's what I thought. So all series, all four series are a best of three. All four series had a game one. Each had a game one
Yes.
today.
Right.
What a way to kick off the. What a way to start the MLB postseason, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Especially that first game I watched today. For the 4-0 victory. Good solid game.
Solid game by the Rangers, especially
By
with
the
their
Rangers.
pitching and their defense.
First time in 7 years they made the postseason, and it was well worth it.
Yep. Montgomery, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Not bad. Chapman, 1 strikeout in 1 inning. Leclerc, only 1 walk, 1 strikeout. There we go. Logged on my MLB. Logged on to MLB.com on the mobile app. Runners on second and third now after a defensive indifference. 2-2 the count on Walker, who was 2 for 3. Williams with the leg kick in the 2-2. Check swing on a pitch high. Fastball not even close to going through. Full count 3-2. Matt Shepard was fired by Bally Sports Detroit as Tigers play-by-play commentator.
Yeah.
Lois,
Yeah.
Bally Sports Detroit recently fired Tigers play-by-play announcer Matt Shepard. This one's off the wall. They'll score 2.
Oof.
And it's 6-3 Diamondbacks. Walker with a 2-run double toward dead center field. That almost carried out of here. That's on ESPN2.
I'll be honest, I didn't think the D-backs had much of a chance in this series, so I'm kind of surprised at this.
It's a battle
Yeah. Trying to be a better battle than I thought.
right now. But if the Diamondbacks win both games 1 and 2, the Brewers are a miserable failure.
That would be a miserable failure.
For the Brewers, yeah.
Yeah. That's something they got.
410-foot double.
That's a long double.
Yeah. Toward dead center. And the Brewers are going to make a pitching change.
Good time.
It's 0-2 on Jorge Soler against Hoffman. Not to be confused with Trevor Hoffman.
Right.
The 0-2 from Hoffman to Soler. Chopper toward third. Throw to second for the fourth, and that'll end the top of the 8th inning. Phillies hang on to their 3-1 lead over the Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, and Nick Castellanos, 4, 5, 6 hitters, due up for the Phillies. And I believe both games are still in commercial break, so why don't we get that True Sports report over with right now for just for a short minute.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, it's now top of the ninth. 6-3 D-backs over the Brewers. Runner on second and 2 out. Williams is pitching. Murillo is at bat. Going into the bottom of the 8th, The Phillies still lead the Marlins 3-1. As you mentioned, Harper, Realmuto, and Castellanos are due up. Finals are the Rangers over the Rays 4-0. Montgomery got the win. Glasnow got the loss. And finally, the Twins over the Blue Jays 3-1. Lopez got the win. Gausman got the loss. And Duran got the save. As we look ahead to tomorrow, the schedule runs down like this. For your October 4th, we'll start with the Rangers and the Rays at 3. That's an ABC game. 4:30, the Blue Jays will take on the Twins. At 7 o'clock, the D-backs will take on the Brewers. And at 8 o'clock, the Marlins take on the Phillies. All games, of course, are Game 2.
Game 2's
While we
easy.
have, yep.
Yep.
While we have a minute, we'll direct down some exhibition NHL scores. Right now, the Red Wings and Blackhawks, old-fashioned rivalry, tie at 2.
Oh, wow.
11:24 to go in the third. Just getting underway. We're at the later stages of period 1. The Kings are hammering the Ducks already, 3-0 already. Also late in the third, the first rather, the Sharks and Knights are scoreless. And your finals are the Capitals over the Bruins 5-4 in overtime. The Lightning over the Panthers 2-0, and the Stars over the Avalanche 3-1.
Gabriel Moreno comes to bat for the Diamondbacks against new pitcher for the Brewers, Bryce Wilson. Gabriel Moreno was 1 for 3 with a home run. It's now 1-1 the count. First pitch was a strike call. Second pitch was a slider outside, laid off by Moreno. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 from Wilson, a little low and outside, 2-0, 2-1 on a cutter. Not very good placement to say the least,
No.
as this game is seen on ESPN2, Diamondbacks and Brewers. 2-1 inside on a sinker. 3-1 on Gabriel Moreno. Walker on second with a Key Insurance 2-run double before the previous pitching change. The 3-1 in there for strike 2. 3-2 on a cutter. 91 miles an hour. Full count on Moreno. Walker takes his lead at second. The kick in the full count payoff. Ground ball to first. Toss to Wilson. 3-1 put out. And the Brewers are going to come to bat in the bottom of the ninth inning to try to come back from a 6-3 deficit. Meantime,
Come back.
bottom of the eighth, JT Realmuto is on now. Bryce Harper just got on base to lead off the bottom of half of the eighth inning. Craig Kimbrell, the closer for the Phillies, warming up in their bullpen. Realmuto fouls one off at 95 miles an hour, four-seam fastball, 1-2 the count on him. Check the game day server. See what Bryce did. He singled on a line drive to left fielder John Birdie. The 1-2 from Okert to Realmuto swung on and hit in the air to deep left center field, but not way too deep. Making the catch is Jazz Chisholm Jr. 1 out. I'll bring up Nick Castellanos, who's 1 for 3, the former Detroit Tiger. By the way, check out my other show, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, on YouTube at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Also, listen to it in audio form on Spreaker. A new episode is up and running. If you don't have a YouTube and Spreaker account, create one and then follow our show and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes.
Castellanos fouls the first pitch off 0-1. Okert gets the signal from the catcher. Throwing left-handed. The 0-1 line drive left field. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Score. They're going to try to wait Harper home. The throw to the plate not in time. The relay after the cutoff. Nick Castellanos with an RBI double. Bryce Harper can really run with power. It's now 4-1 Phillies.
All right.
Castellanos will take third on the relay home. The relay to the plate. Bryce Harper was just running like heck, like he didn't even care. His helmet fell off, but he didn't care. He just wanted to
Apparently
run.
not.
He's one tough, savage son of a gun.
Yes.
Stott is 0-1 against. Stott's got an 0-1 count on him. The 0-1 in there on the outside corner for strike two. Stott didn't agree with it, but the K zone shows it.
Yeah.
Stott still disagrees. He better be careful.
Yeah.
Harper ran through a stop sign and he still scored from the third base coach. It's a heck of an insurance run.
Yeah. Needed it too.
Maybe that third base coach wasn't thinking.
Adios.
Swinging a miss. 2 out. Castellanos remains on third. Wait, Harper wiped his helmet off his head. It didn't fall off on its own. He did that on purpose.
What kind of a move is that?
Harper just wanted to look nasty.
Not very smart.
Well, hey, it feels refreshing at least.
Yes, it does.
There's 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth in Milwaukee. Bases empty at American Family Field, by the way, over on ESPN2. Marsh takes one low, 2-0. Marsh is 0 for 1. The 2-0 to Marsh. Inside 3-0. 1 ball away from putting runners on the corners. Regular season stats: 829 OPS, 277 batting average, and 12 home runs. The 3-0 from Okert on the top of the zone for strike one. A high strike on a fastball. 3-1. The count. Pitch number 16 coming up. 3-1 swung on and got under it toward left center field, almost to left center field, but still left field. John Birdie makes the catch, and the 8th inning has come to an end. Over on ESPN2, man on first, 2 out for the Brewers. Frelick 2 for 4, fouls one off, 0-2. The Brewers are down to their final strike. Sewald, the Diamondbacks closer, on to pitch. The 0-2 to Frelick, low, 1-2, a sweeper. A sweeper, that's... Oh, what kind of a pitch is that? That's a new one.
Yeah.
And Frelick's going to fly out to left fielder Loris Gurriel Jr. And the Diamondbacks take game 1, 6-3 at American Family Field. All right, so that game is over. The Marlins Phillies game is in commercial break. Back to your true sports report, please.
Okay, and away we go. The Anaheim Ducks leading scorer Trevor Zegras was signed to a
Seegers?
3-year deal. Seegers was signed to a 3-year deal, ending a contract stalemate a week before the season begins. The average annual salary will be about $5.7 million, sources told ESPN. Zegers was the Ducks' leading scorer with 23 goals and 65 points in 81 games last season. The center was Anaheim's first pick in the 2019 draft, making his debut in 2021. In his first full season, he was a finalist for the Calder Trophy as the Rookie of the Year, while creating a buzz for his flashy stick skills, including pulling off a Michigan goal with teammate Sonny Milano against the Montreal Canadiens in January of 2022. However, coming off an entry-level contract, the Ducks and Zegers' camp had what was described as a grind of negotiations that carried over into the second week of training camp. The Ducks wanted to sign Zegers to a long-term deal, according to sources, which also said the Ducks offered came in a lower salary than the $5.7 million that he was agreed upon. Ooh. Okay. We say goodbye to an old-timer as former NHL player Brandon Suter, who played his last game in the league in 2021, has officially retired at the end of the 13th season. I'll be back later.
All right. First pitch to Bell is a strike, 0-1 on a knuckle curve. Second, the 0-1 is knuckle curve a little bit low for ball one on a check swing. Bell did not go through. Josh Bell, that is. Craig Kimbrell is on the mound trying to close it out for the Phillies in game one at Citizens Bank Park. And there's a drive to right field. That's deep and just off the wall, almost out of here. Nick Castellanos plays it off the wall. Throw to second, just barely safe as Josh Bell with a leadoff double in the top of the ninth. Exit velocity 105.3 miles an hour. That went almost out of here. That was inches away from getting out of here, from getting out of the field into the seats. Just inches away from reaching the first deck seats. And yes, Josh Bell is in there.
Okay.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. up next. He's got a 2-0 count now. Inside and then outside. Four-seam fastball and then a knuckle curve. Yes, the MLB app, Bat mobile app, is ahead of this.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, but I don't want to spoil it.
Right.
Chisholm winning on the 2-1. Swung on and popped up towards second baseman Bryson Stott. He comes under it easily and makes an easy can of corn catch. 1 out. Josh Bell remains on second.
Okay.
Big out for Craig Kimbrell. Jake Berger, the former Chicago White Sox third baseman Jake Berger is up now. Swung and foul tipped into the glove for strike one. 97 mile an hour four-seam fastball from Craig Kimbrell. The 0-1. Oh man, That looked like it hit the outside corner, but it's called ball one. Home plate umpire thought it was outside. Bell takes his lead from second. The 1-1 swung on and chopped toward third. A one hopper. Alec Bohm throws to Bryce Harper at first, 2 out. Josh Bell remains on second. Marlins are down to their last out. And yes, the Twins finally have a postseason win. Thank you, Brandon Herrera. 1-18 in their last 19 games. Their last win, 2004.
Oh, wow.
Get out of here, man. 19 years in the making, man.
Yeah. Been a long wait.
Yeah. Brian De La Cruz. And Kimbrel drops the ball in it, and the umpires call a balk. By rule, if you drop the ball, you commit a balk. Can't drop the ball. I pitched in high school once. I've done that once before. I got called by a balk.
I think a lot of players have done that, regardless of level.
Looked like Kimbrel dropped it on purpose, according to as shown on the replay. First pitch to Brian De La Cruz. Strike one at the knees. Kimbrel gets the signal. Goes to the stretch. Checks Bell at third. The 0-1. Just a hair low for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike on it. That was a curveball at 88 on the gun. The 1-1 knuckle curve steer right 2. Marlins are down to their final strike. Hell, put a little Leslie Nielsen in there for you. De La Cruz calls timeout. I think you only get 1 timeout per at bat, don't you?
Even in the postseason?
I believe so. You got to put your money where your mouth is, and don't chicken out so much. This is the major leagues.
It's true.
And now the umpire calls time. And then puts his mask back on. Kimbrel looks for a signal, a sign, gets it, goes to the stretch, checks Bell at third. De La Cruz waiting on the 1-2. Here it comes. Outside. 2-2. That was way outside, by the way.
Yeah. Sure it was.
The 2-2. A little closer, but still off the outside corner. Still not too close. 3-2 on De La Cruz. Kimbrel to the stretch, and the payoff. Ground ball to third. Bohm has it. Another easy throw to Harper. A strike to Harper, and the Phillies win game 1 4-1.
Yeah.
So, Brandon Herrera asks, what would you guys like to see in the World Series?
Oh, who would I like to? Well, I'm having a tough time trying to decide who was going to win the NLCS because you got 2 good teams going into that Well, probably. I mean, between the Braves and the Dodgers, so that's gonna be tough. But I'm thinking it's gonna be the Braves and the Orioles.
All right, yeah, the Orioles have won at least 100 games.
Yeah,
All right, so with all that being said, with all those MLB postseason wild card round games being over with, you continue with your true sports report. Go ahead.
okay. And not for nothing, but coming from where you were 2 years ago to winning 101, 102 games and making playoffs where you are, I mean that deserves a lot of credit. Okay, so back we go to the news here, and as I was saying, former NHL forward Brandon Suter hangs up his skates officially. He has not played since 2021 and retired for 13 seasons overall. Suter did not play in the league the last 2 seasons as he dealt with complications due to COVID, or as I call it, you know what. Suter was in camp with the Oilers on a professional tryout. Suter announced his retirement on Sunday after he was being released from the Oilers. The Carolina Hurricanes drafted Suter in 2007 and stayed there for 4 seasons before moving on to play with the Penguins and the Canucks. In 770 career games, Suter had 157 goals and 137 assists. He twice received votes for the Sea League Trophy that goes to the best defensive forward in the league. San Antonio Spurs guard Devin Vassell signed a 5-year, $146 million contract, agent extensions. Andrew Morrison, Rich Benda, and Mitch Nathan of CAA Sports told ESPN yesterday. Vassell earned his rookie contract extension as part of the 2020 draft class and solidifies himself as one of the Spurs' cornerstone of younger players. He is the sixth player from the 2020 draft class to receive an extension, joining Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves, LaMelo Ball of the Hornets, Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers, and Isaiah Stewart of the Pistons, and Desmond Bane of the Grizzlies. Vassell was selected 11th in the 2020 draft out of Florida State, was experiencing a breakout season in his third year until a knee injury in January of that year kept him out of action for 2 months. He has increased his scoring average by 6 points in 3 seasons in the league, going from 5.5 to 12.3 points and then to 18.5 points last season. Not bad, if you say so myself. All right. Chicago Bulls guard Lonzo Ball says that he will play again in the NBA despite numerous surgeries to his knee that have derailed his career in a big way. Ball said yesterday that he is about halfway through his rehab process from a cartilage transplant back in March, third operation on his knee within a year. The number 2 draft pick in 2017 will miss his second straight season in 2023-2024. I do plan on playing again in the league, Ball told reporters on Media Day. After surgery number 3, I feel like it's going well so far. No setbacks. So for me, it's just keep my head and doing the work. Ball was not played since January 2022, reminded the reporters he's only 25 and everything happens for a reason when discussing his injured knee. Ball plans to spend his time between Chicago and his Los Angeles home as he works his way back from surgery. He signed a 4-year, $80 million deal in 2021, played 35 games during the 2021-22 season, and that has prevented him from taking the court ever since then. It's a long time to be away, though. Sitting next to the Larry O'Brien Trophy, again at the interview table, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are thinking they can win a second straight title. While the NBA has been buzzing this offseason about moves that several contenders, such as the Bucks and Celtics and Suns, made, the Denver Nuggets are looking forward and to remind others who won the title last season. I think we can do it again, Murray said during Media Day yesterday. I think it's the biggest thing, just being able to repeat and go through the adversity of the ups and downs of the season. Just being ready for April and going through June. After adding a championship and a Finals MVP, the 2-time and 2 MVP trophies. He already has. Jokic returned to a Siberian home in the offseason to celebrate. Now he's back. Jokic echoed Murray's goal of winning a second ring. While the Nuggets return their starting five from last season of Murray, Jokic, Cornelius Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon, they will have to replace their biggest piece off the bench, Bruce Brown, who signed with the Indiana Pacers in free agency. Reserves Jeff Green and Isaiah Smith are not returning as well. The Nuggets know now that Damian Lillard is now with the Bucks, and Drew Holiday's with the Celtics, and Bradley Beal's with the Suns. But every team has to find a way to topple the Nuggets, which has the top duo of Jokic and Murray, and might even get better. Well, we'll see. The Sixers are waiting for James Harden, but they might not have to wait too much longer. While Harden was not present at the Sixers' first practice at the Moby Arena on the campus of Colorado State University this morning, he is expected to arrive in Colorado later today, if he hasn't done so already, to join the franchise for training camp, so ESPN. It is not clear how soon or whether Harden will, if he will participate at all. I don't know why he was not practice today, said head coach Nick Nurse after today's practice. If he's here tomorrow, we will be ready to make adjustments. Harden did not also attend yesterday's media session in Camden, New Jersey, where the teammates, coach Nurse, and team president Daryl Morey expressed hope and optimism that the situation could be resolved. To that end, on Friday, he was paid 25% of his contract that he was scheduled to be received by Sunday. Sources said having received the 25% of the payment he was scheduled to receive on July 1st. And while the Sixers continue to wait on Harden, the Sixers will be operating two different timelines. One with Harden back in the fold, and the other where Harden is, well, not. Well, have to go figure that, don't we? All right, moving on to the other news of the day. Brewers right-handed pitcher Brandon Woodruff is out of the NL wildcard series against the D-backs with a shoulder injury, said manager Craig Counsell yesterday. He has a right shoulder injury, Counsell said. We are working on a second option for Brandon over the next few days. Frankly, his availability for the whole season is up in the air at this point. That's not a good sign there. Woodruff is 5-1 with a 2.28 ERA and 11 starts this season, but missed more than 2 months with shoulder inflammation. He returned to the roster in August and pitched well by going 4-1 in his last 8 starts with an ERA of 2.13. In his last regular season start on Saturday, Woodruff struggled against the Marlins, giving up 4 runs in 5 innings, and later said he felt discomfort. However, it was not until he played catch on Sunday that he was feeling something even worse than that. The Brewers finished the regular season on Sunday with 92 wins and claimed their third NL Central title in the last 6 seasons. Woodruff was part of 3 big rotation along with Corbin Burns and Freddie Perella, and had been a key part of the Brewers' success, finishing 5th in the NL Cy Young voting. Woodruff has the most considerable playoff experience, starting in 4 playoff games and appearing in 8 of them, dating back to 2018, hosting a 3.18 ERA. Burns did take the ball in Game 1, as Counsell expected, but did not name a starter for Game 2, the slot which Woodruff was expected to start in. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out. The New York Mets officially welcomed David Stearns, I said Stearns, not Stern, as president of team operations yesterday. Stearns grew up as a Met fan, my condolences, and now takes over as president of operations. The former boss of the Milwaukee Brewers was introduced by Mets owner Steve Cohen, a.k.a. Uncle Steve, at a news conference at Citi Field, contemplating a disappointing season, which was a far cry to the year before last year when they won 101 games. Despite championship expectations and a $355 million payroll, the Mets were out of playoff contention by midseason and finished fourth in the NL East. Stearns will conduct a search for the Mets' new manager now that Buck Showalter was fired after the last Mets game on Sunday. Stearns also says he expects to have slugger Pete Alonso at first base next season. He has been the subject of trade rumors because he is eligible for free agency at the end of next year. Pete is a great player and he's good in the clubhouse. He is a homegrown player. All of that matters, says Stearns. Pete is an important part of the organization, and I believe we are fortunate enough to have him. Stearns worked at the commissioner's office at MLB from 2008 to 2011. He was the Indians' director of operations in 2012. They were still called the Indians back then. And was assistant general manager with the Astros from 2013 to 2015 during a successful rebuild. After taking over the Brewers, he enjoyed a winning run leading the Brewers baseball operations department from 2015 to 2022 before stepping down to take on an advisory role. Patriots outside linebacker Matthew Judon is scheduled to undergo surgery on his right biceps, a source told ESPN. Judon says he hopes to play again this season, but there is uncertainty on whether he can play at all, according to sources. Judon, a four-time Pro Bowler, was injured early in the fourth quarter in Sunday's loss to the Cowboys when he reached out his right arm to tackle running back Deuce Vaughn. In addition, Judon's injury, the Patriots also lost starting cornerback Christian Gonzalez to a right shoulder injury late in the first quarter. Gonzalez is also expected to be sidelined with a torn labrum, sources said. The Patriots were trailing 31-3 when Judon was injured. Coach Bill Belichick was asked after the game if there was any consideration removing Judon from the game, similar to what he did to Mac Jones, pulling him late in the third quarter, but it was not discussed by the coaching staff. Judon entered Sunday's game with a team-high 4 quarterback sacks. He has a career 15.5 sacks in the 2022 season. Alfred Jennings, second-round pick of this year's draft, Keon White are the options to fill the void for next Sunday's game. Okay. Well, it seems like the pitch clock in baseball worked this year, as the average time of a regular 9-inning baseball game clocked in an average of 2 hours and 40 minutes in the first year of the use of the pitch clock, and saw the biggest increases in batting averages and stolen bases in 40 years. Boy, I remember that. Left-handed batters benefited from the new restrictions of defensive shifts. Runners took advantage of slightly decreased distance between the bases, and the average fastball velocity also set a new record. The average time dropped to its 1985 level after passing the 3-hour mark in 2016. It reached a record of 3:10 in 2021 before the introduction of the PitchCom electronic device, bringing it down to 3:04 last year. MLB adopted the pitch clock rules this season with 15 seconds with bases empty and 20 seconds with at least one runner on base. It took some time to get used to, but once it happened, the game was a lot faster, said by Twin shortstop Carlos Correa. There were only 9 games that went 3.5 hours compared to 390 games back in 2021. Now that's a big difference right there. Miami was the fastest with an average of 2 hours and 35 minutes, while the Orioles and Padres averaged 2 hours 44 minutes. The pitch clock will be used in the postseason, where last season the average time for 9 innings was 3 hours and 23 minutes. Of course, the pitch clock did have numerous violations, as the Pirates led with the most pitching violations with 41, followed by the Yankees at 37 and the Mets and Rays both with 36. MLB instituted penalties that included balls against pitchers and strikes against batters. The Mets led in that department with 57 violations, the Rays with 52, the Pirates at 51, and the Padres at 48. The Marlins had the fewest with 6 violations. The Nationals led with 17 batting violations, while the Cardinals had only 2. 2. Okay.
Just 2.
Just 2. Turning to college football for a minute. Two-way star player for Colorado, Travis Hunter, will miss the next 2 games as he continues to recover from a lacerated liver, said by Coach Deion Sanders. Lacerated liver. Oof. Let's say 2 to 3 weeks, said Sanders, about his recovery. It would be my dream and desire to keep him off the field till after the bye week. Yeah, I think that's a smart move right there. Colorado is 3-2, but 0-2 in Pac-12 play. We'll play at Arizona State this week and host Stanford next week before having a bye, and then and they'll travel to UCLA on the 28th of this month. Travis is doing well, said Sanders. He was out of practice today, but was coaching his butt off. He is one of our best coaches that we have. Hunter suffered the injury during Colorado's win over rival Colorado State on September 16th. With him not available, the Buffaloes lost their past 2 games to Oregon and USC. Before the injury, Hunter in 10 quarters had 16 receptions on 233 yards on offense, an interception, 2 breakup passes, and 9 tackles on the defense. Houston Texans left guard Kendrick Green suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee against the Steelers and is expected to be out indefinitely, according to a source, namely ESPN. The Texans traded a 2025 sixth-round pick to the Steelers for Green after a 2022 first-round pick. Keon suffered a season-ending shoulder injury in the final preseason game against the Saints. Kendrick Green started 3 games for the Texans after there were injuries to the left side of the starting unit. Boy, this is getting ugly all the time. Left tackle Larry Tunsil suffered a knee injury in the first quarter in Week 1 against the Ravens, causing him to miss 3 games. Tunsil was replaced by Josh Jones, for whom the organization traded a 5th-round pick to the Cardinals on August 24th. Jones was playing at left guard until the injury to Tunsil. Green was then evaluated to take over the starting role. Wow. Doesn't get much uglier than that, folks. Continuing on here. All right. I know I got some more here. That's Actually, I think finished my notes. Oh, I'm just gonna go get some more scores here because we still have some NHL preseason here. The Kings lead the Ducks 3-0, 15-10 to go in the second period. The Sharks are up on the Knights 1-0 with 12:36 to go in the second. Those are finals there. And tomorrow's schedule goes like this. Actually, some college football score games tomorrow. Jacksonville State takes on Mid-Tennessee at 8, and Florida International and New Mexico State take on at 9. I thought it was a little early for Wednesday night college football. Okay. Caught me by surprise there. Now for tomorrow's NHL schedule, it goes like this. And we're now just 7 days away from the start of the regular season. So we have these matches tomorrow, starting at 7 o'clock with the Sabres taking on the Blue Jackets. Other 7 o'clock games would be your Red Wings taking on the Penguins. The Rangers taking on the Devils. Okay. 9 o'clock, the Flames take on the Oilers. At 10, the Kraken take on the Canucks. Just a quick check to see if I missed anything. I may have got them all. Just a quick check to see here. No, I think I've got them all, so I'll just turn it back over to you.
All right, episode 90 of True Sports is in the can. For Los Sonora, I'm Taylor Phillips. Thursday I'm sleeping in, but we're gonna go on at 10:30 for more live coverage.
All right.
Of the game twosies. of the MLB postseason wild card round. So until then, for Lewis, I'm Taylor. Ta ta.
Okay,
Until
folks.
episode 91.